Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Chilled Thursday live stream. It's Dice Painter, um, and for the first time, we've only got ourselves a bloomin' Alex Meehan,
Oh, you've caught me.
and
I'm
you couldn't hide.
yeah, I've stumbled into your trap.
Yes, and now that you're here, you must stay and paint for 2 hours while we have a pleasant conversation between ourselves and also the community. Um,
Oh,
And gosh, there are lots of you already chatting,
I
including
know.
Vantonius, first time live here. Hello, welcome aboard. Rasmus, NEM, Thunder Cookie, Corey, Vogel, Gesang, I say that wrong every time. Rohe Pasta, Schrodinger's Cat, Lindsay Langdon, Blue Vendetta 64, Zizahans, Titan Uranus, Mediocre Danny D, Frodo Baggins, Kargoth the Mad, Junta 812, Hatronoth, Rakeshi, Don Shishilny, Scout Trooper Merc, Peter Fisher. There are lots of you. An awful lot of you.
Yeah.
Steenberg. I think I saw Veronica's in the chat. Many, many people. I hope you're all having a relatively chilled Thursday.
Hmm.
Let us know if indeed you are working on anything yourself, whether that's painting miniatures or crafting, or just working on having a nice relaxed time. Let us know what you're up
Hmm.
to. What are you up to?
You reading
Sorry, carry on.
you reading those out was like you're announcing a series of wrestlers coming into the
It's
ring. Like when you
Titan Uranus!
it's Frodo Baggins.
Phil Tyler! Um, the pause every week when I have to say Titan Uranus, it gets longer because I don't, I get what they're trying to do. But anyway, we've had our first super chat from JH, who says, Treats for pets. Your paint stream was my first Icebreaker live stream. Oh, well, thank you for returning. I'm glad we didn't put you off. And thank you for your superb chat.
Yeah, you've made it all the way to this episode
Hmm.
where I get to be on it. So you've stuck in for the long run.
Um,
Uh,
what are you painting? Because I just saw, I can't find the name, but somebody said, are you painting scythe miniatures?
I am painting a bear, but it's not Poliana's
It's not
bear, no.
Wojtek? Is that his name?
I must admit, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have a huge amount of knowledge in the deep lore
What
of
do you
Scythe.
mean you've not been doing deep lore dives?
Yeah, maybe I should hit up the wiki. I'm sure there is one. Um, no, I'm not. I don't actually own a copy of Scythe, unfortunately.
You're
Um,
gonna have to sort that
I'm
out.
gonna rectify
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna sort it out. But £100 doesn't exactly grow on trees.
No, indeed.
Um,
Yeah.
I wish it did. That would make my life a lot
Yeah.
easier.
Um.
But no, I'm not painting a Scythe miniature, unfortunately. Um, I am painting a Critical Role miniature
Ooh.
from a series by Steamforge.
Oh yes.
Yes, who do nice Dungeons and Dragons
Yes.
miniatures. Um, they we covered their oh my goodness, they do the little pet ones.
Oh, Cats
So
and
they do
Catacombs
cats and
and
catacombs and
Doggies and
the
Dungeons, was it?
doggies
Something
and
like yeah.
dungeons, I think. Yeah. Um, but the Critical Role series, I'm doing Trinket the bear.
Oh, I think it
There
looks
he is.
adorable. In fairness.
Yeah, he's very sweet.
Oh.
I chose him because I'm not hugely experienced in painting miniatures quite yet. I wanted something a little bit more on my level. I think tiny little details aren't quite. I'm not quite there
they're
yet.
they're
Um,
interesting because in one way they make you feel like a sniper because you're holding your breath and being, really really accurate from what feels like a very long way away. And then the other bit is that you start getting lightheaded from holding your breath so much. So
yes.
yeah.
Yes, I will be painting Trinket. Um, What are you painting,
I am
Johnny?
painting. I tell you what, we've got a super chat. Let me just read that out first, and then I'll tell you about these little punks. Emmy Little has done a super chat and says, "Goodness, I really need this today. Bad mental, emotional day. So thank you. Pets for treats, and for Tim, I'm going to try and paint a direwolf. I'm sorry to hear you're having a crap day, Emmy. That sucks.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
yeah, it
yeah,
happens.
especially at the minute. I hope everyone's staying safe out there. It's kind of it is. I mean, it's
Yeah.
always okay to not be okay, but especially at times like this, it's especially understandable when people aren't feeling their best. So I hope
Yeah.
painting a direwolf makes you feel better. I hope it stays still because you know
Yeah, that would be tricky. Yeah, if you had to paint a moving direwolf.
you just get a paint roller and just start like chasing it around.
Direwolves are quite intimidating, aren't
I would
they?
say so.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you were able to chase down the direwolf instead of it perhaps happening the other way around.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe they love
do I
being
have
painters.
two?
Who knows?
I have two dry brushes for some reason.
Ooh, fancy.
Well, I've got a large one and a small one.
Ooh,
Um, yes, and I'll be working with a relatively small brush,
yeah,
and a generally kind of medium-sized ones for
nice.
when I can kind of, because there's not too many details on
Yeah,
this.
I
Um,
think I just got.
you didn't say what you were
Oh,
painting,
sorry.
Johnny.
I'm
Looks
painting.
like a
Yes,
skelly.
these are some Cavalos Death Riders from Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So, a few weeks ago, I was
Ooh.
painting a big skelly bloke. These are from the same army. So, they're sort of undead cavalry riders. They look very sort of dull at the minute in colour because what I underpainted them so it's sort of black and white, and then I just shaded all the bone. But I'm going to go back in and lighten that up a bit over the course of today, which
Ooh.
should be fun. I like these guys
How
because they're
lovely.
pretty quick to paint and they're quite fun.
Hmm.
We have another super chat from Visible Wizard saying, "A Thursday afternoon with Meehan and Johnny. You do spoil us. Please take this small token of appreciation for putting these on and entertaining us. I am also painting my CR miniatures. Great taste. Snap!"
Ah, yeah. Let me know what you're painting. I'll be honest with you. Trinket's not my favorite Critical Role character.
Uh-huh.
Um, he is a what do you call them? Animal companion to one of the ranger characters in the game, in the series, I guess. And he is quite cute, but I think the main cast might be a little bit too advanced. But do let us know what you're painting and
Yes.
yeah, tag us in some pictures. I'd like
Yes.
to see those.
We sort of did that a couple of
Um,
weeks ago. We put a picture up of what we'd done, and then people responded with what they'd made, and it was really nice actually. It made my evening. Evan
hmm.
Dehart, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your surname, says, "Thanks for the great content. I had a D&D question. What happened to the Warlord class, and how would you set up the class to play 5th edition? Thank you for your super chat, and apologies in advance for not really knowing, to be honest. I don't know the answer to either of those questions."
Yeah, I will say I'm not a expert when it comes to D&D's history and such.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of the Warlord class.
No, I mean, I
Um,
think like you, my first encounter with D&D was with 5th ed.
yeah,
So,
but actually, I played fourth.
oh,
Um, many years ago. I did play fourth edition. I don't remember it much. But unfortunately, my friends, whoever did the chat, I don't know. You know, Wizards of the Coast, they will switch things around sometimes for the good and for the bad.
yeah.
Um, you know, when it comes to classes, I don't think they play around with them as much. I think it's more like the general rule set they tend to change more often.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I'm sure there's a homebrew that's very similar to
Yeah,
it.
to be honest, if you
Um,
can think it, it's already a homebrewed class in D&D. Within
mm,
reason. I'm not trying to rule 34 Dungeons and Dragons. Chris Rukowski has done a super chat saying, I wish I could join in with this stream as I'm currently doing the minis from Mice and Mystics before I do my Dungeons and Doggies minis.
Ah,
I really like the miniatures from Mice and Mystics. I had a copy and then I got rid of it and I never painted them up and I kind of wish I had now. But I just found it was a game that after a while I just sort of... I like it a lot, but I just had no real impetus to play it. So I gave it to a friend and he and his girlfriend started playing it. And then they were like, okay, we feel like we've played enough of that, so they're going to give it to someone else. And, you know, I quite like the idea of these mice just briefly invading people's homes over time.
I'm putting my base coat on at the moment.
Delightful.
I'm doing the armor first because I figured silver would be an easier color to get out of my brush than brown would
That
be.
is, a good way of approaching it, to be honest. I rarely think of it along those lines, but that's a good way to do it. Frenchie
Yes.
1869-2 or 18692, I don't know, asks where Loli's joke is. I've not received it. So if Loli's has a Thursday joke for us, it's either got lost in the
Yeah,
post,
Loli's.
or
If you're watching,
she almost certainly isn't. She has moved house this week, which is always stressful. But also
yes,
she sent me a
stressful.
screenshot of her internet speed at her new home. And it's awful. I'm
Oh
pretty sure
dear.
it's worse than my phone.
I hope we can improve that because that might
Make it very
be
difficult,
problematic
given...
to do our jobs.
Yes. So, she is looking into it, I think. But, have you considered a
Yeah.
tabletop hand cam? Yes, we've sort of tried doing it on the big boy streams in the office. And I've tried it once or twice, but it's a bit of a faff, to be honest. It's just easier for me to do this.
Yeah. I'm part of the editorial team, so I'm not hugely knowledgeable in the old video department. I can turn up, I can bring the hype and say my lines, but yeah, I'm a human air horn, basically. But yeah, thank you for the little pet treats
Yes.
people have been sending. I wish I had a pet
What?
to give them to. I guess Tim is my pet in a way.
Absolutely.
No, he doesn't. Well, no, I won't say that. But
No,
I
no.
won't say it. No, I can't say that.
Zizor
Break the
Hands
hearts
has
of
done
everyone.
another super chat
Ooh.
saying, thanks for these paint streams, they've helped a lot during a very stressful time. Johnny, would you consider doing a video on your glazing technique? My glazing technique, to be honest, I learned from a YouTuber called Dana Howell, Danahowl, and her video on glazing is A, very, very funny, because she is absolutely hilarious. She's got a very dry sense of humour, but B, is far more comprehensive than I think mine could ever be. So I would urge you to go there and watch that. Maybe in time I'd do a video on other painting techniques, but at the minute I think I'd just be ripping her off. So perhaps not. But yeah.
What is glazing, Johnny?
Glazing is a different method of getting colour onto a miniature whereby you take your normal paint and then you add glaze medium. Glaze medium is basically paint without any pigment. So instead of watering the paint down and breaking it up, it keeps it very smooth. But it also slows down the drying time on that glaze that you make and basically makes it translucent. So if you start glazing colour onto a miniature, it's kind of like putting a coloured gel on a light. Like the light still goes through it. So if you've done any underpainting, like building contrast into the model before you start glazing it on, it like excuse me, you can get some really nice effects. Whereas if you sort of slap paint on, you can undo that work. So it's a much more involved process. It takes quite a long time, so you have to put multiple layers on. But also you can play around with blending the colours and all that kind of stuff, and it looks really nice. So I've been trying to work at that recently, but for these skellies I've gone back to sort of more traditional techniques, which is quite pleasing. It's nice to sort of just come back to something you know well every now and then.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm always very impressed by people, yourself included, who are able to do such a fantastic job
Ah, praise.
of painting minis. Yeah, I just don't have an enormous amount of patience for it, to be honest with you. Something I've always kind of struggled with. I used to do art at a kind of school level, I
Hmm.
guess. Um, and I still do have an interest in the subject, but I always found patience was yeah, that was my biggest obstacle.
Yeah,
So I'm like, it's done. I'm bored with this. I'm gonna move on to something else.
I know what you mean. Like, uh, I have to check myself sometimes when I'm painting, because I'll be like, oh, I just want these done, and I start cutting corners. When what I should really do is just put the minis away and work on something else, or just stop. But instead, I start
Mm.
pushing myself to just get things done, and then it ends up looking a bit worse because I've rushed myself. It's definitely
Mm.
something you can learn. Matt Jarvis has done a very good joke.
What? Tell me.
Why are trains so tough to eat? Because they involve a lot of choo choo. It's on brand.
Oh
I
my
love it.
goodness, Matt Jarvis.
Brilliant.
He he is the greatest of all
He
of
really
us.
is.
He is, yeah.
Goodness me.
Uh, what a wonderful person.
Indeed. He very patiently
Mm.
gave me a tour of our content management system this week. So now I feel so grown
Yeah.
up. I can make my own articles on Dicebreaker rather than being like, please, sir, can you upload my words?
Please, Matt.
Oh, Zanzibar White's done a super chat saying, having no artistic talent myself, mostly due to my large, clumsy gorilla fingers, great respect for those who do. Thanks for the great
Gorilla
quarentertainment.
finger. Believe you me, my friend, the size of one's fingers does not determine their ability. I have uh quite thin fingers, and yet it's mostly the brain that's the problem.
I thought you were going to say, and I'm a grade 8 pianist, but really you just started negging yourself about something else. You were like,
Yeah.
but actually, what really
I
holds me back is.
yeah, no.
Oh,
Like, well, like it's not like I'm what's the word? It's not like I find myself bored, to be honest. I often have too much to do. Um, I just find things that sometimes require you to have a lot of patience and put a lot of work in. I can be really, what's the word, impatient with getting results.
what?
So, like, I used to play guitar for a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, and I got relatively okay at it. But you have to play it like every day, and sometimes I didn't want to do that,
Yeah.
and like I found it hard to think, oh yeah, the results are going to be worth it if I put the effort in. And back when I had a different job and I was doing freelance around my full-time
Yeah.
job, coming home, doing, freelance writing after a full day of work and practicing guitar was just,
Well, yeah, something's got to give there.
it's a lot, yeah, to deal with. I wasn't sure if, I just couldn't keep it up, but maybe one
Yeah,
day.
I mean, it's always worth going back to. But also, you, it's not a sign of failure or weakness if you don't. Like I've taken up instruments and let them go by the wayside because I just realised I sort of wasn't getting on with them. Like,
Yeah, I mean, another issue I had with guitar was sometimes my puny strength in the old fingers made it difficult for me to,
yeah, that is something
to
that
even
you have to
play it.
build up, annoyingly.
Yeah. There's barcodes, which is for the viewers who might not know, basically have to hold down across the bar of the guitar with one finger, and then basically, hold the other strings like you usually would to play a chord. And if you don't hold it down hard enough, you'll just get an out of tune
Yeah, it's dead
note.
annoying, frankly. One sec.
Uh, oh, Johnny is off adventuring. Oh, he's going to show us
You
what
want
I'm
a
talking
barcode?
about.
I'll show you a barcode.
He's got his guitar. Oh, I'll be lucky. Are you going to serenade us, Johnny?
I mean, let's not go mad. But normal chord,
Yeah.
barcode.
Yeah.
So you have to all the way down, and then use your fingers to play other things.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly.
I still find them quite difficult a lot of the time, and I've been playing guitar since I was 14 years old, which is approximately 200 years ago. Lol, 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 lol. Oh, look at.
I feel like we've both fallen into the same joke trap of people calling us
Yeah,
old.
pretty much. I think it's just. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there's a youthful joie de vivre about wheels and about lowlies that is
Yeah.
counter to my normally more, let's be kind and say, reserved nature. And it just means that by contrast, I seem like an old man apparently. So that's fun. But right, we've got a couple of super chats to catch up on. Perfect Drago says, "Hi guys, love watching these painting streams, and they are a good way to chill while I wait for Shantae and the Seven Sirens to release." What is this? What is this thing of which you speak? It's a Gallagher has done a super chat and says, "I've had an uptick in my chronic pain and wanted to thank Dicebreaker for videos that distract me from it. Also to Johnny and Luke for their sea shanty. Turns out mental health is less grim if you pretend it's boats. Much love." Oh, thank you. Oh, and Soldier 1812-1915 says, "P.S. Frosty is Aussie slang for beer." Thank you for all your super chats. I'm sorry to hear about your uptick in chronic pain. It's a Gallagher. Oh, Soldier 1812-1915 had already done a super chat saying, "Hey Johnny, this is for your sanity. P.S. How is it doing with hosting so many games and dealing with your insane players? And crack a Frosty on me." And a Frosty is an Aussie slang for a beer.
There you go.
I mean, I'm running 5 campaigns at the minute, which feels like a lot, but also, I don't know, it's fun. And
I mean, yeah, to me it feels like a lot because I don't do it nearly as much or have not done it nearly as much. I've GM'd a few times, including for you, Johnny,
yes,
once.
I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, but that didn't require a heck of a lot of preparation on my part beforehand. That was for Labyrinth. Doing the preparations for a RPG can be a lot of work, but it's often dictated by how much work you really want to do on it. Like,
Yeah.
You can go full, designing everything top to bottom, or you could just, take it a bit easier and go with the script.
Yeah. It really is up to you how much sort of work you make for yourself with a campaign, I think.
I think it's mostly because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So when I feel like something isn't, up to the standards I want it to be, I put in the extra work and I'm like, whoo, this is a lot.
Yeah. That's an easy thing to sort of stumble into, I think.
Yeah, I think when you've got more experience, it comes to you a lot more naturally.
I think you just get a bit quicker at thinking on your feet, really. I don't know. Archon Extreme has done a super chat. Thank you very much. Saying, "Started watching 3 weeks ago and caught up in time for this stream. You are an incredible group of people, and your content has helped me through a particularly dark time. Love you guys and everything you do." That's so kind. Thank you. That's like a really, a really lovely thing to read. And we are glad that you like what we do.
It it is a special thing when you know that you're improving someone's, life, especially at the moment.
Yeah,
Even if it's in a small way of just like making them feel a bit better or making them cope with, yeah, what is currently a difficult
yeah.
time, feeling a bit more connected to other people. Like, I'm lucky enough to live with another person, but even then, I still.
It's tricky. You can end up feeling really lonely, I think. Very easily. I mean, like, I also live with another person and two cats and a dog, so if this flat is anything, it is.
It's too
Yeah.
full, but still,
Quiet it ain't, I'll put it that way.
yeah.
But
Oh no, no.
but sometimes we do find ourselves just sitting there, and luckily my wife and I are very good at just being candid with one another. But we can just be like, "I love you, but your company is not enough right now, or it's not, the
Yeah.
exact thing I want." So, um, Thomas M has done a super chat. They're rolling in today. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Love the whole
Yeah.
Dicebreaker team. Curious about one thing. Is there is there a reason Meehan often calls Matt Jarvis Mr. Jarvis? Nothing wrong with it, just wondering. Thanks for all the lovely content.
Yeah, this has come up in the past, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I think we've had a few people who now call Matt
Mr.
Mr.
Jarvis.
Jarvis. I think it became a kind of. I think it just became something like a habit I fell
Yeah,
into. Like, where in the office I would call him Mr. Jarvis. Because, back when we worked in the office, we would, be sat right next to each
yeah.
other. And I would just lean over when I had a question to be like, Mr. Jarvis. And I think I just fell into calling him that in pretty much most situations. I do call him Matt sometimes. And it's not because, he insists. In fact, he probably would prefer it if I called him Matt.
Yeah.
But it's just because I kind of like doing it. Like sometimes I'll call uh like some of my other friends just by their surname. I think because a lot of people call me by my surname,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I want to return the favor. But I guess they don't call me Miss Meehan. It's more like they just call me
Ms.
Meehan. But
Meehan,
Miss
where is your
Meehan.
review of Quest?
Yeah, that was a running
That was a
joke.
good one.
Yeah, that was when I used to call Johnny. I only called Johnny Mr. Chiodini a few times, and it usually came up when I was specifically talking about his video review of
Which, in
Quest.
fairness, was very late.
No, it wasn't because I was scolding you. It was literally just because it's again that sort of became a bit of a running
Yeah.
joke, even the team, because we're such funny
My
people,
God, we've got a lot of in jokes given we've not even been going a whole year. Wow! Oh bloody hell, we are getting flooded with
Yeah,
super
come on,
chats.
Johnny,
Sorry.
we need to catch up.
Jamie McCluskey says, heading out for my government-approved exercise, so thought I'd offer up a tithe from the dregs of my student overdraft for your wholesome work first. That was an incredibly satisfying sentence to say out loud. Are you a
Yeah,
writer?
excellent writing
You ought to
there.
be.
Yeah, I like that.
Titan Uranus asks, what happened to the pigeons? Two of them died, two of them blew away. Long story, very sad, but I miss them terribly. Kieran Levitt has done a super chat saying, loving the streams. What brushes would you recommend for fine detailing? I do Airfix model planes myself, but not sure what to get. Massive thanks. I'll tell you what, I'll come back to that one. BP Phantom says, big thanks to my favourite Meehan and my favourite Chiodini for this lovely relaxing stream while I write a design document for a customer. Cheers! Well, cheers to you. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, I'm impressed to hear that you have a favourite Meehan, because my surname is not a very common one. I've encountered it a few times in my life.
Ditto in the UK.
Yeah.
Chiodini is not common at all.
No, mine is Irish. What about you?
Italian.
There you go.
My great grandfather came over from a place called Gallerati, which is near Milan, when Mussolini came to power because fascism's bad.
Well, yeah, because fascism.
Because fascism.
Because fascism is
Right,
bad.
we're
Yeah.
not even done with this parade of super chats, and then we
Goodness,
have a
quick.
question about brushes to loop back to. CookieCat94 says, it just hit Friday morning in South Oz. The good news is the world hasn't ended. The bad news is it's still 2020. thank you for the update,
Yeah.
Cookie Cat 94. I think I can speak for all of us when I say I'm sorry it's still 2020.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, you've got a few more months to go.
Yup. Now, brushes. I am not a big expert on brushes, to be honest with you. Just sort of. I think Army Painter does a line of brushes that are quite inexpensive, and I think the toss-up is whether you spend a bit more for something that'll last a bit longer, or whether you go for something cheap that you don't mind replacing. Like when I first started, I was buying an entire set of 8 brushes that were like £6, and it just meant that I would go through them at a rate of knots, but they were so cheap I didn't really mind. And then I thought, actually, let's try and buy a better brush. So when I was at the till in my local game store, they had some Citadel brushes, and I bought some of those. And they've served me quite
Yeah.
well. It's a slight the extra small Artificer layer brush is the one I use for a lot of my detailing and a lot of my base painting. Actually, I really like using small brushes. But yeah.
Yeah. When it came to the dry brush and the small brush, yeah, I went for Citadel as well, just because I think really the dry brushes and the small brushes are where it really kind of matters
Yeah.
in terms of quality. Like this medium-sized brush I'm using, I don't think it really matters hugely where I get it from. But when it comes to the details and the dry brushing, I think it does
Yeah.
matter a little bit. But gosh, those Games Workshop brushes are not cheap.
No. I mean, you can go really expensive with miniature brushes, and I think, unless
That doesn't surprise me.
unless you're going pro or trying to win the Golden Demon, I would say don't bother. But just experiment really with a price point that's right for you, and give it a Google.
Yeah, like I don't think you need to feel guilty about not like splashing out. But if it's something you really enjoy doing, I don't see
Yeah.
why not treating yourself a bit.
Yeah. Oh, Jeremy McCluskey has done another super chat saying, not a writer, actually a medical student about to go into my final year. Bloody hell. I mean, hats off to you for sticking that one out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Away off now, but enjoyed hearing my surname in the Oxtra Corn Ultimatum. It was my pleasure to use the surname McCluskey. I was thinking about the band McCluskey at the time.
I've never heard of them.
They are Welsh and they are loud and they're very good.
That would probably be why. I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of loud. Now it's making me sound really old.
No, it's fine. It's fine not to
I'm
be
not
a fan
huge fan of loud music.
Right.
Like, I listen to a bit of rock, but that's probably about as loud as I'll go.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or more of a folky person and an indie rocky person myself. Probably surprises absolutely no one.
I mean, I'm a big fan of folk, to be honest with you. But I also, I was a real grebo, and then I was, a proper emo in school.
A Max Rebo.
So Max Rebo.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, they had a band.
Did they?
Max Rebo was in a band. Yeah. In the film, at least.
Oh, I see.
A fictional band. Yeah, he was playing some sort of space instrument.
That's
probably throwing you right off there with Max Rebo now, haven't I?
But I listen to a lot of metal and stuff like that, and some mathcore and blah blah blah. I like a bit of everything, Mo. Another super chat.
Yeah.
Logan Hanlon says, currently going through chronic pain fueled insomnia. Been watching your videos all night. Love the podcast. Oh, at night. Love the podcast. Absolutely living for Meehan's vendetta against Monopoly. What is your least favourite Monopoly?
I mean, the thing is, I've not obviously played a lot of the ones that I've complained about because they're not out yet.
Yeah.
But I would say my dad once received a copy of Arsenal Monopoly for his birthday, and we had to play it. And the thing is, he hates board games, so I really don't know why. I can't remember who bought it. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me or my sibling.
But if I find them.
Yeah, if I find them. But that was pretty boring because, no offense to Arsenal, but I don't really give a rat's fart about them.
Nope.
So football plus Monopoly is, Yeah, you're definitely going in the realm of things I don't like. Uh,
um,
yeah.
there was that chip and pin Monopoly. That was annoying. I didn't play it. It's just annoying to know it exists. Um,
Oh, mate, there's worse. There's so
oh
much
God.
worse.
Matt Sequel has done a super chat saying just a quick message to say thank you for all your work. Got so many Dicebreaker videos to catch up on and loving your work with other channels. Hope to see you at EGX at some point. Us too. I keep having dreams about live events. I miss them.
Oh. Yeah, probably because you want to go to them, but
Yeah, but here we are.
unfortunately,
But we're doing the right
yeah.
thing,
Oh no,
you know.
like honestly, the idea of trying to go to one of those events at the moment, like
Eesh, yeah, no.
it's a hint, it's not a good one. As much as we might want to go,
Yeah,
yeah, unfortunately, it is what it
yeah,
is. But
and it,
better to be safe.
indeed. Stay indoors. Just stay home. Paint some things.
Yeah,
Craft some things. Or don't.
yeah. Make a do one of those virtual events they've got going on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um, the interestingly named Your Back Fat has done a super chat
yep.
that reads, I wanted to ask you guys what your opinion on Warhammer 40k is. I've been exploring the lore and find it awesome but dumb. I think awesome but dumb covers it quite well, especially since, like, I think in things like this with lore, especially if you're picking a team that you're going to lovingly paint and put on the table, you want to feel like there are good guys and bad guys. You know, like in Age of Sigmar, the Sigmarines are very much the whatever they're called, the
Big boys.
the Goldie lads. Why can't I remember their names? Stormcast Eternals.
Gold,
Uh,
Goldie
they're
lad.
very much meant to be the good guys, but obviously in Warhammer 40k, a lot of everybody are fascists.
Yeah, I get that. Again, uh, as I said on the podcast this week, there you
Mm.
go, a little teaser. Um, I don't know a heck of a lot about Warhammer. I almost called it Warcraft then. Blech, I know more about Warcraft, but I don't know a heck of a lot about Warhammer. I know there are Space Marines in it.
Yep.
I know there are skeletons in it. I know there are mushroom people in it, and there are aliens, I
Yeah.
guess. I beyond that, I really don't know. But it does look stupid in a fun way.
Yeah.
I don't think they're under the, as far as I know, I don't think they're under the impression that it's not stupid.
No.
But they kind of roll with it.
I think there are elements of the community who take it super seriously and are
Yeah, I
not
think the
nuanced
community,
about it
yeah.
and can be hateful, which is a shame.
But I think Games Workshop are fairly aware that most of it's pretty dumb.
I think so.
You'd like to think, but I mean, yeah, I mean, you have parts of the community that do take things way too seriously all the time. They can't take a joke, and you're like, yeah, Jesus.
Right. You know what, mate? We've got more super chats to catch up on.
Yeah,
Cookie Cat
do it.
94 says you didn't give a rat's Arsenal about it, which I think is excellent.
Yeah, excellent work.
Peter Fisher says, have any of you backed Hell the Last Saga? And if so, are you planning to paint them on stream? No. I've not backed it actually. Board games with lots and lots and lots of minis just kind of aren't quite my scene at the minute. I think possibly because I've got.
Yeah, I think we've discussed this.
Yeah.
I think we've said in the past that, to be honest with you, my friends, yeah, games where most of the appeal seems to be miniatures don't really hugely appeal to me. I mean, we played it and it was okay. I liked some of what it was trying to.
It is a good example of one of those games, I think.
Yeah, but I just think, like I've spoken on the podcast in the past, I just think there is a glutton. Yeah, like a glut, sorry, of like those types of games at the moment, especially on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It just becomes a bit exhausting, really.
Yeah,
where
it's easy to get fatigue.
like I want to see something else.
But yeah, it certainly looks like if we're into those games, I think it actually looks like a pretty decent one.
Yeah, I had fun.
Yeah.
Like I had fun playing it. Some of the mechanics are interesting. I like the religious thing. Seemed fun.
That was nice actually. The sort of three different pantheons: Wildling, Christian, and Norse.
Norse, yeah.
Josh Bunton has done a super chat saying the new Battleship board game setup is a pain. As in battleships? Surely battleships is.
The battleship?
Surely that's dead easy to set up.
I
I
don't know. Maybe it's changed
yeah.
since our day, Johnny.
In my day. Well, in my day, all the
I know.
battleships were wooden hulled and they had sails and
Yeah.
cannons.
Yeah.
Veronica Matchuk says, seeing so many people watching DB when they're having a bad day makes me feel very seen. Here's to everyone whose mental health isn't great but is plodding on. That's a really lovely super chat, thank you. And whoa!
Yeah.
Emma Benton has done an absolutely massive super chat, saying, because I just got paid, with a smiley emoji. Thank you for all the streams, thanks for making me a mod. Hadn't got a chance to say that yet, but it means a lot. Love you all. We love you too, Emma.
Yeah, thank you.
It was great meeting you at last year's EGX. It was really good fun, sort of spying you in the queue of the meet and greet, being like, I'm pretty sure that's Emma Benton. Yeah, it was good. So I hope everyone is again, sort of staying safe. And thank you for being such a lovely, warm and welcoming community. It's really humbling, actually.
I'm never not surprised, but I'm never not delighted that our community is as nice as it is, because I'm still a fresh-faced youngling in this industry.
Indeed.
So
How dare people call you old?
well, it's not the people, it's mostly Wheels, to be honest.
Yes.
He calls me. Matt sometimes calls me old as well.
It's just cruel.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's funny, to be honest. I just know about stuff before I was born. Why is that? Why does that make me old? Why do I have to know?
I'm sorry that I know about things that used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world didn't begin when I was born,
Exactly.
Well, it did get infinitely better.
Oh, yeah. This is the thing, Wheels has opinions about everything, which is admirable. But he also has a feeling where, if your opinion doesn't align with his, you are wrong and bad. And it's like, but Wheels, the whole of humanity, it's come before you also,
He is an opinionated boy, but we kind of love him for that. He wouldn't be Wheels about it.
That's true, yeah.
It wouldn't be the same.
Matt Holland has done us a super chat saying, it's beer garden weather in Liverpool and I'm still at work. Thanks for this stream, it's helping me keep my mind off all the bad stuff. You are more than welcome, and I hope you do find a way to enjoy a beer in the sun soon. Drink responsibly, he said.
Yeah, I just bought a giant bottle of gin today. Drink responsibly.
Hello! That sounds great.
Hendrix, yeah.
Ooh, other gins are available. For example, I got some Sipsmith on offer the other day.
Yeah, this was an offer. So I was like, I was going to get some Bombay, other gins are available. But the Hendrix was also on offer, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to try something.
Treat thyself.
I'm gonna try something
it's delicious.
different, yeah. I love gin, and my housemate, who used to have a very unusual relationship with gin in the sense that it gave her flashbacks to a certain evening. So she couldn't really drink it. But I've recently weaned her back on it.
Good. So it's not a bad time drink anymore.
No, I think she just drank bad gin. To be honest with you.
I mean, if I even smell Southern Comfort, I'm like, no.
Yeah, no. Cheap vodka does that to me.
Yep.
I've had some nights with cheap vodka.
Some
mostly
nights.
Weren't good.
Capital
They
S.
were mostly not good.
Capital N. Oop. Oh, I genuinely can't keep up. JH has done a super chat saying, sorry, but I like the paint streams more because you all make this so relaxing to listen and be a part of. Brackets, still love game streams. Thank you for being an hour or so of chill during our Thursday. You are more than welcome. And to be honest with you, I love doing the paint streams. They are just, I don't get to do anything quite like this in the rest of my job, and it's very pleasant. So I'm very glad we've had you on for one, Meehan, to be honest.
Yeah, I know calm isn't the word that often comes to mind when I'm mentioned or included, but it's, people can see another side to...
There's a tranquility to you a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, on the scale, I'm probably up there in terms of one of the more energetic members of the group, but
Sure.
I wouldn't say I'm
I mean,
the most
in the office, I'm
energetic.
frequently conscious not to try and disturb your flow when you're writing, or whatever. Even though you sit the furthest away from me in the Dicebreaker team, I try and I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep my voice down. I don't want to disturb me, So, and that's not in like a she'll be mad kind of way, but it's more like a
She'll be
you should,
mad.
she'll be furious. You just sort of radiate industrious goodness.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm there to do the writing when I need
Yeah.
to. So, I do concentrate, but I'm also game for a laugh.
Well, indeed.
Yeah,
I just sat there radiating big dad energy, unfortunately. But oh well.
that's definitely not an unfortunate thing.
Oh.
You and Matt Jarvis are the dad dream team.
Jack Wood's done a super chat saying, just want to say thank you. I'm submitting my dissertation tomorrow, and these paint streams have been one of the few things. Sorry, one of the things. Don't know where that word slipped in from. One of the things that have kept me sane with a heart emoji. Congratulations on completing your
Yeah.
dissertation. I hated doing mine. So yeah, I remember the feeling of liberation when it was finally done and in. So hats off to you, quite frankly.
Yeah. I actually really like doing mine, but that's because I'm an absolute nerd.
We're going to circle back
Um,
round to this. I want to know about your dissertation, but we've got genuinely
okay.
so many super chats. Zealous Makuzo says, "Hey, I just got my first custom mini of my revived Tiefling Rogue. Still debating what colours to go with. My Mimic dice chest is coming along nicely. Our Mimic dice chest sounds amazing."
Oh, I like
And then
mimics.
Real Name R has done a super chat saying, filling out a 16-page ADHD assessment. Brackets irony not lost on me. Thanks for a welcome distraction. You are more than welcome. I hope that it
Oh,
proves cathartic and
enlightening,
enlightening
yeah.
rather than just tedious and um, sort of probing, I guess.
Yeah, once you have a better idea of what's going on, it's always because then, you can start doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Josh Bunton has done a super chat saying, I think everyone has had bad nights with cheap vodka, so you are fine.
Oh, my friend, you
You
don't
have
know.
been
You
you have
know
been
not.
forgiven, Ian. Um,
Yeah.
Stanley Pink says, afternoon from Brighton. Been loving your content. Started DMing because of you guys. Me and my friends are having a blast. Yes, Stanley, that is the kind of thing we like to read. Just helping people sort of discover games, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And bloody hell, okay, right. Jack McPherson says, too old, bah, I'm 30 and I finished my final major project for uni. 2 weeks left. Sammy Kelch is on the super chat saying, there's no way you guys are older than me and I'm only Mumble-T6. So everybody can shush about it. Sorry I can't paint along, but I'll paint tonight. Alex Zaglinska? I've almost certainly butchered that one, I'm really sorry. Saying, today I watched Meehan and Matt's first live stream of playing Icarus. Now as a bee lady, I need bee dungarees and to play Icarus in the future times. Infinite Sand. Is that the Infinite Sand one? I
Yeah.
still haven't
Gosh,
watched it.
that makes you feel old.
I know, it feels like a whole lifetime ago, doesn't it? All that
Yeah, it
stuff.
feels like a long time ago. But good memories, good days.
Indeed. I still haven't watched the Icarus one. I keep meaning to because there are now in-jokes I don't get on Dicebreaker, and I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
huh? So, yeah. Julia Kaiser has popped into the chat and says, finally catching a live stream but can't stay. We'll be around. We'll catch you on catch up. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we're always here,
Uh, the,
in a sense.
we've had a snooper chat. We've had a snooper chat
Snoopy!
from the Lone Sniper Pro saying, hello from Tennessee. I just watched your mini golf stream last night and laughed so much I had trouble stopping. Thanks for all the great streams and hope you're all doing well. That stream was chaotic.
Oh my goodness. It was basically you take you get dice every member of Dicebreaker on their most like intense day and then you put them all in a blender and then you drink that and that's basically what the stream is like.
Yeah, that was a big one.
It was
It was
hilarious.
good.
was laughing so much, most of it. It was really
The
funny.
thing is, like, a little peek behind the curtain here, but like one of my duties is had a video specifically is to keep an eye on like the tone of the channel and make sure it's in a sweet spot so we're being friendly and welcoming and blah blah blah. And sometimes, because we're a boisterous lot, that means trying to minimize the amount of time we spend arguing. Because I think it's more fun when people just resolve a disagreement and get on with the game and, do something that feels fair for everyone rather than being like, how can you, blah, blah, blah. That went out the window before we'd even teed off on the golf stream.
Oh
It
goodness,
was
yeah.
ruthless. And at one point I was like, is this too much? Uh,
The
but
the
I couldn't stop.
the thing I the thing is, I try and stay out of that particular part
Yeah,
because I feel like if I add to it, it's only going to
get worse.
make it
Yeah,
worse. Because you've got enough on your hands, let alone me diving in as well. And Matt Jarvis is just so like relaxed that he just won't do it either.
yeah. But, I mean, that stream ran away with all of us. Let's face facts.
No, I thought it was
Oh, I had a
hilarious.
great time. But yeah.
But it was chaotic, yeah.
Oh, goodness, it really, really was. That stream almost killed me. Oh god, Kate, don't do this to us. The question is, how do you really play mini golf? No, stop.
No, we're not getting into that discussion again.
Uh,
Because I really don't care. So
the conversation carried on as well. Like, I got a message over the weekend being like, it's like Loli's talking about.
from
She asked
who?
her boyfriend
From
about my
who?
quote unquote made up rules, and I was right. So whatevs. We've got two more super chats to save us from this conversation about golf. Brian Shona
Yep.
says, at least my last convention before Gestures at Everything was PAX Unplugged when I got to hang with the Dicebreaker crew. Thanks for all you do. That was a lot of fun, actually. We posted up in some of the tables where people could play games and just play with the community. It was great. Although at one point we got told off gently by some of our American colleagues because two of them were playing. What's that game where you place bits of highway and make bridges and stuff, and you put cars on it?
I think I've heard of this game. Is it Tokyo Highway?
Yes. It is. I mean, it's beautiful, but we were playing Happy Salmon right next to them, and we made the floor shake and ruin their go, and they were like, "Johnny!" It's like, oh, sorry. Um,
Look, when the happy salmon gets going,
when
not really much you can do
when the
about it, I'm
spirit of the
afraid.
Happy Salmon is in you, you know.
Yeah, when the spirit of the happy salmon is going.
God, I love Happy Salmon. It's gonna feel so good to play Happy Salmon again.
I know. Just to slap arms with another person.
Just the delightful
Oh
flap
yeah,
of Happy
the
Salmon.
happy salmon.
Chris Rakowski has done another super chat and says, I've also started DMing after watching Johnny's various D&D games. Johnny, you are the kind of DM I aspire to be. Chris, I'm sorry. Drunk and barely hanging on.
Whoa! No, you got a lot of experience. That's just the problem. Like with Critical Role, for example, like Matt Mercer has just done it for years, and people are like, I want to do that, and I'm like, no, that's great, and it's great that they inspire people to play, RPGs and stuff. But he's been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad if you're not,
Immediately.
if you feel like you're not,
guy,
immediately that good. Like, also, they've got like a budget and stuff.
Yeah, and also it depends on group to group what people want. What works for Critical Role might not work for everyone, and also
Yeah.
you might find that the style of game you run is very different to the style of game you like playing in. When I play, I'm very serious. Like, I'll make jokes and stuff, but I role play my character hard, and I will absolutely put them in harm's way for story purposes, but I like very involved games where people really take the role playing seriously. But when I run games, they tend to be absolute farces, and that's because it's just where my sense of humour goes. So it's been interesting trying to balance that a little bit, which obviously part of that is down to the tone of the game as well. Like, it's easier to be serious in Deadlands than D&D, I think, but
Yeah, because D&D is full of a lot of
It's just
silly
daft
things.
fantasy tropes, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, like I love Critical Role, but I think they play the game too close to the latter, like too close to the system for my
Mm.
liking. Because then you just get large swaths of the episode where they're just fighting, and it's fine because they do things to keep you engaged. But I wouldn't want to play a game where that happens that much.
Combat can be very, very dull because the game just slows
Yeah,
right down, and while it's meant to be very tense, it often just turns into a weird melange of numbers, and you find people just
yeah,
tuning out a bit.
and a lot of it depends on what kind of character you're playing.
Yeah,
Like, I often build characters that aren't very combat focused, just because I'm not that bothered by combat.
yeah.
Like, so when it does get to it, it's like, oh, I can't really do a heck of a lot, especially at lower levels.
Yeah,
Like, you're basically just stuck there, like,
I
my cleric can't do anything.
I like building characters that are sort of problem solvers. So like, if a fight breaks out, they're the ones shimmying up the scaffolding to try and bring it down on everyone. The stuff that where you
Yeah,
only really do one thing and it takes 4 rounds, but when it works, it works. That kind of vibe.
yeah,
But yeah,
exactly. Or or like bards are just that's why I like bards so
yeah,
much because they're just hilarious and also they require someone who thinks like especially in the lower levels who thinks outside of the
yeah.
box, like particularly when it comes to combat because a lot of their stuff isn't very useful in combat.
That's why
But
I think Luke's character in the Oxventure, Dob, is such a standout because he always
mm,
thinks very, very laterally and like just with a really infectious sense of fun. Um, that I think is great. I mean, everyone is fantastic in that show, but he really does push the boundaries sometimes in a way that doesn't feel like he's trying to cheat anything. It feels like he's enhancing the situation and enhancing the fun,
mm.
which is a difficult line to tread, but I think Luke does it amazingly. So we've got some more super chats to catch up with. Uh, Angel Beat says, "Wanted to thank you all for all you've done. You're all amazing," and does the Klingon hand symbol.
Oh,
Adam Glover has done a super chat and says, "I started DMing after where's it gone? After watching you, Johnny, and I've kind of followed your laid back approach. Thank you for all the entertainment you've all provided. You're more than welcome. I'm glad you are pursuing a laid back approach. It's an easy way to stay laid back in an otherwise stressful time." Chris
mm.
Rakowski has done another super chat saying, "Long live Judge Nana." Also, and I can't believe he's making me say this, bum.
Oh
I
my
know.
goodness, the forbidden
We'll just move
word.
past it. It's fine.
Mm.
It's like it never happened. Should have stopped at just Judge Nana. Um, uh, this is a super chat, but we're going to come back to this. Ronnie has said, "I'm afraid to ask, but what is happy salmon?" Oh, goodness. We've got, okay, 2 more super chats to read out, and then we're going to get straight back to that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Josh Bunton says, "Better the happy salmon than the worm." Wait, better the happy salmon than the worm. Also, Johnny, what is the one power you are/were dreading DMing for tomorrow in the Outside Xbox Extra D&D stream? I've forgotten what spells they took, to be honest. They're all scary. They've taken so much. They're so capable now. I think it's partly that I think Dob can Dob teleport now? I forget. Basically, you can tell.
That guarantees
Yeah, you can
shenanigans.
tell I'm scared because I've blotted it all out from my memory. So I guess we'll just see on tomorrow's stream 4 to 6 on Outside Extra Xbox. Sorry.
Ooh.
Uh, Emmy Little has done a super chat saying, "A friend is going to start DMing for our friend group. I really want to do a tiefling druid who was raised by wood elves who is super gullible because I feel like it would be hilarious." Yes, I really love
Yeah.
people choosing a race and then choosing a completely different cultural background because it kind of helps break down some of the
Yeah, the you are this race, therefore you're like
yeah,
this.
the sort of biodeterminism kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like why Drow are kind of like, right, you've made a race of evil
Yeah,
people?
just fascists, like racial supremacists.
Which is one thing I'm really happy that the Critical Role book Guide to Wildment like does, because it's like Drow are people in that world as well, and they have their own
Yeah,
motivations. They're not evil.
right.
They're
That's good. It's a good thing
they're
to
they're
retcon.
just they're just a different kind of culture that is misunderstood by the other culture.
Yeah. Right, but Happy Salmon.
Oh yeah, yeah. Back
Happy
to the most important bit.
Salmon is a game where you get given a hand of cards. Those cards have actions on them. There is the high five, the fist bump, or called pound it,
Hmm.
the
Pound it.
switcheroo,
Yep.
and then the happy salmon. And
Yeah.
that's it, I think.
The holy happy salmon.
And basically, you all stand in a circle with your cards in your hand and go 3, 2, 1 and flip a card. And then if it's a high five, you've got to go high five, high five, high five, high five. And someone else with a high five card, if they high five you, you both get to discard that card and go on to your next action. So if it's switcheroo, you swap places. If it's pound it, you do a fist bump. And if it's happy salmon, you reach out an arm and slap each other on the forearm. So it goes. First person to get rid of all of their cards wins. It is glorious fun. The cards are laminated, so because you're just chucking them on the floor and stamping on them all the time.
Yeah.
And it comes in a lovely like neoprene fish with a zipper
Yeah.
on it. I played it for the first time at PAX Unplugged and immediately went and bought a copy.
Oh
And
yeah, I love happy salmon.
kept it on my lanyard for the rest of the show.
Yeah, because you never know
Oh, so good.
when you're going to need to happy
Yeah.
salmon.
So
Uh,
when we're able to sort of go out in public and be around people again, you best believe we're busting out some happy salmon because
oh
it's
yeah.
incredible fun to play, but it's also very funny to watch.
Oh, it's really, really funny.
And so you can play it where you're allowed to talk and say high five, or pound it, or happy salmon, happy salmon. But I think it's so much funnier to play silently because you're just like staring at people, and then there's that moment where you're like, let's do it, clap, 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 clap. And it's brilliant. Oh, there we go. Cookie Cat 94 has done a super chat and says Dob can turn creatures or himself invisible. Good luck. Yeah, I'm screwed. He
Yeah,
can go
that's
invisible.
gonna be fun.
Um,
It's the specific, creatures or himself. So like,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm never gonna catch them at anything ever again, am I? Apologies, by the way, if anyone can hear what sounds like a machine gun going off. There are some magpies having a massive brawl outside my window.
Oh my
They are
goodness.
there's a real turf war going on at the minute with all the magpies.
Yeah, we've got across the road there's the communal bins, and somehow one of the lids has come off,
Oh yes, here we
and
go.
that means that the enormous seagulls that live
They're
around here
terrifying.
are just battling it out over, the
Yeah.
goods. I just saw an enormous one land on there and just stand there like, come on
Come
then,
on.
have it,
I mean,
have
London
it.
will always be home for me, but I think one of the reasons I could never really move to Brighton is the gulls.
Oh, they are
I hate them.
vicious. They will. My friend, they once stole her entire an entire bag of chips. They literally just came along
Yep.
with the claw, like with the beak, just pick it up, fly off.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, they don't
They're horrible.
around.
They're horrible. If you just... Oh, there's another super chat from Josh Bunton saying hashtag fizzy blood. I'm looking forward to Prudence first demon. Oh, Prudence can raise demons now, I remember. I'm so screwed.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. It's fine. This just means I can throw harder stuff at
Get some
them.
big ones.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Just think about
I
that.
need to work out their challenge rating. I've never really bothered with challenge ratings, but I think now I need to actually crunch some numbers so I don't get steamrolled like I
Yeah.
always do. But yeah. So if you're just joining us, by the way, hi. We
Hello.
are painting some miniatures. I'm painting some Warhammer. Meehan is painting Trinket the Bear from Critical Role. And we're having a very
Ooh.
nice chilled Thursday. There are lots of you watching, which is very nice. Indeed, Craig Penfold said, "Hello, you two. How are you doing?" Doing all right, actually.
Yeah, not
I
bad.
actually
Not
am
bad
having
at
a
all.
suspiciously good week after an awful start to the week. I had a
Hmm.
dreadful day on Monday. I basically had a 24-hour panic attack, which was larks. But then, so I was off sick on Tuesday because I was knackered. But the last 2 days, I've been very productive and feeling quite good. So
Oh, that's
it
good.
feels like I've sort of maybe reset a circuit breaker or something. So I'm feeling human
Yeah,
again.
I often, to me, the worst days. For some reason, Sundays, I don't do well with
Yeah,
Sundays at all. I think I'm a chronic. I think Matt Jarvis likes to think I'm a chronic workaholic, which I'm not.
sure.
Uh, but I love my job, and especially at the moment, feeling productive is like a hugely important thing for me at the
Yeah,
moment because like it makes me, I can it takes my mind off stuff, and I feel good when I've been productive.
yeah,
I can relax, and to be honest, when I've been productive, I feel like it's easier to relax. Um, so having, had, a relaxing Saturday or something, you get to Sunday and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with myself.
yeah. I know what you mean. I sort of get the Sunday blues, as it were, quite badly.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it's what's the word? Like it's stuck around from when I used to not enjoy my
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
That dread of like, oh God, back to work.
Um, we've got a couple of super chats. Um,
Ooh.
another from Emmy Little saying, Egg is on a giant dog with no head because of Dob. So that's Egbert. Dob is also making a huge Corazon. Uh, Mel make tiny movable Coro and everyone invisible. Marowyn make tiny movable Corazon and everyone invisible. Corazon has decided to pirate, and Prudence is summoning killer demons. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what everyone's doing. Oh yeah, so Egbert's got a giant dog now because he can summon that. Dob can turn him invisible and make his head invisible. Dob is also making a huge Corazon. Yes, because he can do illusion magic now. Merylwen is making a tiny movable Corazon. Can't quite remember about that one. And everyone,
How many Corazons are they gonna
too many.
be? Like,
Some would say one is
apparently
more than
just
enough. That's a joke.
whoa.
This is a joke. Corazon has decided to pirate. That's right. He's become a swashbuckler, and Prudence is summoning killer demons.
Ah,
Um, Miss Leopold has done a super chat saying, "Today is my birthday. Have money." That's not how
oh,
birthdays work. We're
yeah,
supposed to
you should
be
be getting the
super
money.
chatting you. Your streams help me feel less lonely during lockdown. Thank you. What game do you want to play first when you can play face to face again?
I mean, you already said.
No,
You already
I
said
mean,
it.
Happy Salmon is right up there. I want to play more of The
Yeah,
Crew, Quest for Planet 9,
yeah, no, that great,
and King's
that great.
Dilemma.
That game is
I
great.
God,
Yeah,
I
I
bloody love The
wouldn't
Crew.
mind. Yeah, I played a bit of King's Dilemma when we did that video.
Oh, of course.
It's a chonko.
It's a heckin' chonker. It really is, but it's also very very good.
Yeah, I really want to play Detective Club because it arrived this week. I ordered a copy finally. And yeah, I really want to play it with you
Yes,
guys
please.
because I've harped on about it so
Mm.
much. I kind of feel like now I'm worried it's not going to live up.
Sure, it's gonna be
Hi.
fine. Archon Extreme has done another super chat saying, "I would also like to hold Dicebreaker personally responsible for the plethora of board games, miniatures, and TTRPGs I must now own, paint, and play. Sorry, not sorry. We're
Yeah.
helping
No,
discover
this is a
things.
two-way street. Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry, very sorry. How's Trinket coming along?
He's doing okay. I've done his
Oh, that's really
armor.
clean.
I need to do the wash on the
Yeah,
armor, but I'm just doing the base at
that's
the
gonna look
moment.
banging.
I'm doing his body now. He's doing his legs and his
Oh, he's got a
underbits.
little hole for his little tail.
Yeah, yeah, I need to do his
That's
little
amazing.
tail. But yeah, I'm just doing his body now. How is your bony boy
Uh,
coming on?
Pretty well. Hang on, let me just tab so I can actually see myself. There we go. So I have dry brushed the bone again to lighten it up. So you should be able to see some of the bones kind of popping there.
I think it looks
And I've highlighted
fantastic.
the armour. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. I'm going to work on the weapons, on the metals there, and then I need to highlight the purple bits of cloth. And also,
Mm.
one of them has a banner with a buzzard atop it, which I haven't even started painting yet. So once we're done with that,
The buzzard.
we've got 51 minutes left on this stream. I reckon I might be able to get these
Yeah.
done, you know. We'll see.
I believe in you. I'm going to try and get as much trinket done as I can.
Daniel Browner says, when are we getting Dungeon Venture crossover? We need an animal transformation off between Tim and Merylwen.
Oh
Gosh, who even
gosh, the
knows? I think
chaos. I don't know whether we can put Johnny through that. Like,
I we'll see. I mean,
maybe.
so
Yeah, I mean, Dungeon Breaker's still got a way to go.
yeah. Well,
We want to develop
Dungeon
that.
Breaker is in actual official D&D realms, whereas Oxventure and the Breakfast Club both exist in the same universe. So the crossover would be there, probably. I don't know. It's difficult. We'll see.
We'll see. I think is the
When
answer to
I
that one.
own a distillery, is probably the answer. Julia
Oh my
Kaiser.
god, I would love that.
Julia Kaiser, who had to leave earlier to teach saxophone, has done a super chat to say, here to celebrate, my saxophone student forgot, and I can stay! Should I continue my bookbinding project or finish my friend's birthday present? I mean, I don't know what the birthday present is. It could be something very tedious. Bookbinding sounds amazing, though. Do some bookbinding.
Yeah.
Your friend sounds great, but do some bookbinding.
Meet yourself. Yeah.
Ego Raptor's Chin has done a super chat asking who plays Warhammer at the office and what factions. I think Wills and I are the only ones in the office who actually play. There are plenty of people who have started painting.
I've played a bit. Yeah.
So I mostly play Skaven. Wheels also collects Skaven, I think. I also play Kharadron Overlords, who are like the Sky Dwarves. But I've been playing a lot of Age of Sigmar Warcry recently, which has lots of like little. It's a skirmish game, so it's got lots of warbands. And I mostly play the Corvus Cabal, who are like dudes and dudettes who run around dressed like crows, trying to hurt people.
Oh, that sounds
But
fun.
just before everything kicked off, I had finished a Gloomspite Gits warband of like squigs and little goblins who sort of run around with shivs and bows and arrows, and I was really excited to play with them. And not even looked at them in months now. So there that goes. But it's alright. We'll, you know.
Yeah.
It's going to feel so much sweeter to go to my local Warhammer club, get a pint and a pizza, and
Whoa.
yeah, mate, it's pretty great.
I'd kill for a pizza right
roll
now.
some dice. Yeah.
I've had lunch, but I could genuinely just eat a whole pizza.
Yeah, I had lunch quite late. I sort of just shoved in. I made some potato wedges and just like crammed them in just before this stream. So more super chats. Before we get back to super chats, Ronnie said, "Do you think you'll do another Twitter thread for all our arts and crafts today?" Absolutely. Once this is done, we're going to tweet out pictures and then you chip in and show us what you've done, because that was a really nice feel last week when everyone was just like, here's a thing that I've completed, and some of them were amazing. Chris Wachowski has done another super chat saying, do you still plan to make more Breakfast Club? Yes. Everyone's outfits are in the office, which makes it difficult, but it's absolutely carrying on. I'm not done with those little rascals yet. It's just a matter of time, really, because obviously we've been adjusting to some pretty strange circumstances. CookieCat94 says, first Dungeon Breaker needs to get out of hell. That's true. Did send you all to hell.
Yeah, we need to do a meatloaf.
Yeah, I did warn you that I was going to send you all to hell, in fairness.
No, I was aware.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. David Gillam's done a super chat saying, you guys have inspired me to start writing, so thank you for keeping me productive and sane. I just wrote an article about post-lockdown games. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Also,
I'm really enjoying just thinking about the games I'm going to play. It's just, just having to think about them. It's like playing Kubb and throwing bits of wood around.
Yeah.
If the weather's still nice when we can return to the office, I'll bring my Kubb set and we can spend a lunchtime chucking bits of wood around.
I don't know what this is that you're talking
It
about.
is a lawn game, also referred to as Viking chess, where basically there are two teams. Each team faces each other along a back line, and along that back line you've got 5 wooden blocks, or cubes, and in the middle of the pitch there is a big block which is referred to as the king. The objective is to knock over the king. However, you're not allowed to try for the king until you have knocked over the entirety of your opposing team's back line. So you've got to knock down all 5 of their cubes, and then you can have a shot on the king. You do that by throwing wooden battens, and any cubes that you knock over, the other team has to pick them up and then throw them over into your area and knock all of those ones down before they can attack your line. So if, for example, you and I were playing and you knocked down 3 of my cubes, I would have to throw those 3 back in. So I would only have 2 cubes left for you to take out before you could try and knock over the king and win. But I would have 8 to take out. So the better you do, the harder you make it for your opponent, and it's a great back and forth game. I taught it at Hackney Brewery's birthday bash last year. Actually, I spent a tremendous day just teaching people how to play Kubb while we all had a beer. But it's really, really good fun, and it's very chilled and it's delightful. I've spent more than one birthday just turning up to my local park, getting people to turn up, and we just play all day. So. It's great. Oh, and if you take a shot at the king, you have to do it backwards between your legs.
Of course.
So it is a game that I think everyone is going to love. But I also think Wheels is going to get very into it very quickly.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ed Sale suggests that Dungeon Breaker in Hell sounds like the perfect opportunity for Tim to ride a Cerberus. I feel like Cisco would get jealous.
Yeah, no, Cisco is his boy.
Cisco's going to have a great time in hell. It's going to be so warm for him.
Yeah!
Every rock is a hot, flat rock.
Exactly.
Sounds like a Lloyd Webber musical number. Every rock is a hot, flat rock.
Yeah, when Android Webber. Yeah, when the robot version of Andrew Lloyd Webber makes the Dungeon Breaker musical.
Oh, it's going to be great.
I'm sure that would be one of the...
Do we have to use Lloyd Webber?
I don't love him. I'm sure we could just use... We'll use Lin-Manuel.
Oh, yeah, fine. Great.
Yeah, he'll do the... Yeah, he's much cooler.
Yep, done. Thank you.
You go. Yeah,
Not
he'll
to
do
immediately poo-poo him, but I did, so... Bade's done a super chat saying, I purchased a whole 2,000 points of Slaves to Darkness before lockdown. Haven't really painted any, though, because backlog dread is a thing. Start small. Just assemble a few and just focus on those. The more you think about the size of your painting pile, the less you get done. So just put some of it in a cupboard and, like, ration it out for yourself. Be like, num num num, I've painted a few models. That was delicious. Let's have some more. Let's raid the larder. Num 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 num. Make it a treat, not a chore. And Artima Bale says, started anxiety meds before lockdown, but Thursdays are still hard for me. Essential, so still working, so I love these chill streams and can't wait to get home and work on my own minis. Well, thank you for continuing to work in these odd times. And also, frankly, hats off to you for starting anti-anxiety meds so close to this situation, because having come off and gone back on meds like a couple of times now, starting again can be a royal pain in the bum. So, yeah, hats off to you, frankly. I hope you're not getting too many weird side effects. Please don't paint the flag. Okay, that's it. No, I've whiffed it, man.
Oh, mate, I won't tell you how many times I've whiffed it now. I'm just not admitting them on camera. So you're not alone.
Okay. Josh Bunton's done in the super chat saying, the prior mentioned game that I am not going to try and spell sounds like the perfect drinking game for every time you miss. Kubb is Kubb. It's less of a drinking game being like, haha, you missed. have a swig, because every team has like 6 battens, so that could be a lot. But it's just a lovely, like, lawn game where you're just sort of gently drinking a Pimm's or a low ABV beer, or
Yeah, you don't want to be.
don't want to get hammered playing Kubb.
Yeah, you don't want to be steamed when you're playing that.
Because, like pool, there's a sweet spot. It's like, I've had 2 beers, now I'm amazing at pool. Oh no, I've had 2 beers and 1 sip, now I can't play pool anymore.
Oh.
So, Daniel Brown has done a super chat saying, any plans to do a Dicebreaker Malifaux Let's Play? Doing a lot of work on the Foe Vassal community at the minute, and love to see Dicebreakers take on Foe. One of my friends is very much into Malifaux, and he keeps saying he'll teach me. I'd love to play it, to be honest, because I really like the idea that you activate 1 model apiece, and some of the models are amazing. There's a faction, Meehan, where you can just get a pig catapult, and it's like a pig flinger, you just lob pigs around.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I want a pig lobber.
So, yeah, I would very much like to give Malifaux a try. So I will try and do that. I just miss playing miniature games. Miss Warcry. Miss Frostgrave. I don't miss it.
I miss pretty much any board game.
There's a beautiful Crokinole board just waiting in the office.
I know! We literally just got it.
It turned up the day we all went home.
No, it turned up a bit before then.
Did it?
We were playing. Oh no, that was the one you brought in.
The one I brought in, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it did turn up literally the day we went home.
I mean, if you listen closer, you can hear my Crokinole board in the corner just weeping for lack of use. Oh no, I said the B word. Sorry everyone. I said pain in the...
Oh no!
Goodness.
Come on, what is it?
Oh no, it's...
A happy hour.
I'm sorry.
Have some decorum.
The Phantom of the Opera web browser. Danny McNamara, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's a terrible joke. Actually, I'm really not one to talk.
Phantom of the Opera.
I was editing the podcast earlier today, and I got back to that joke I made up on the spot, and it's very bad. The one about the Warhammer cultist.
Oh yeah.
So that's a teaser for tomorrow.
Yeah, bad Warhammer jokes.
Oh, David Gillum says, Johnny, it was me who tagged you in my Gaslands picks the other day. Any chance we'll be playing that? Yes. Wheels and I've been gagging to play Gaslands for a while, and I think 2 years ago now I bought some Hot Wheels off eBay with with the express intent to paint them up, and I haven't touched them. So many a plan of mice and men gang aft a glay.
Yeah.
Full off to the plans of mice and men. There we go.
Yeah, I want a fluffy rabbit. Did you see me complaining? No. Just accept. It's gonna happen.
Yep. Fluffy rabbit, please.
Yeah.
Yep. Why did my phone go off?
The Phantom of the Opera. Yeah. What?
What?
I'm just doing the ears. They're very fiddly, and I've definitely biffed it multiple times.
I always feel like when you're basing stuff, it's a matter of going back and forth and back and forth. Just trying to sort of get everything nailed down. Is that a SodaStream bottle? Yes, good luck or a quick death. It is. I like fizzy water.
Yeah, you were telling us about your SodaStream.
How exciting my life is. You know what? Years ago when I...
Look, we gotta find the happiness.
But these things stick with you. Like, years ago now, I was working with Chris Bratt when we were both working on Eurogamer. He now works on the excellent People Make Games channel, which he co-founded. And I bought a dehumidifier because I was living in a flat with a terrible damp problem, and I was excited because it improved my quality of life no end. And he just wouldn't let it go. He was like, "You're so sad. All you talk about is dehumidifiers." And then it got to the point where I was like, "Right, I'm going to get him. If he thinks I talk about dehumidifiers a lot, anytime I even had a thought about a dehumidifier, I'd text it to him."
Yeah,
He,
no, he needs to know
yeah,
about the
he
dehumidifier.
hated it. It is uh, squeaky something time now because I have to paint the banner. You see the little,
Oh, yeah,
see the
squeaky
raised
something.
details.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
gonna
good luck with
be
that.
tricky.
Rather you than me.
Okay, here we
Gonna stick with Big Bear here.
go.
Mm.
I get the feeling that Johnny has become considerably less foul-mouthed since joining Dicebreaker. I haven't. I've just learned to hide it better.
Yeah, I still remember. I have to admit that video you did with Ian about FAF, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh wow.
It quickly became one of, you know, those videos you just stick on when you want to feel, you want to have a laugh.
Yeah.
That quickly became one of those videos that I would put on just to have a laugh.
Really?
Because the amount of times you swear in that video
I
is,
didn't even know you'd
um,
seen that.
yeah, no, I just stumbled across it because I like horror games, even ones that are all right,
Yeah.
like that. But I think that video is hilarious
Thanks.
because the amount of times you swear in it just makes, and it's the creativity of the swears specifically. Like you can be lazy with, profanity, but the best kind of profanity is the one that you think outside of the box.
Uh-huh.
Um, but no,
I
I think that's
Oh,
hilarious.
thanks. I curse
No,
like a sailor. I genuinely do, so.
no, but you've got a, what's the word? You've got to be a good role model for us. You see?
Isn't that a terrifying prospect? Me as a role model.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've done a little bit of swearing.
Yeah. Wheels dropped the most egregious F bomb recently when he was being a droid and he just had to make a noise and instead
Oh, that was hilarious. No, that was really
I
funny, actually.
absolutely lost it at that, to be honest.
It was his reaction to the fact that he'd said it.
Yeah.
That was that was the funniest part. It wasn't even what he said. It was like, oh gosh, afterwards.
That was a stream from the
Uh,
start of this month, if anyone's wondering, where we read a Star Wars Choose Your Destiny book
Charles.
with Finn and Poe, and it got weird. Um,
Oh yeah, I thought it was great.
la 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 la. Josh Bunton's done a whopping great super chat saying, "Here's my donation and paying off the chat's IOUs for the language jar if I missed the end of the stream. I probably passed out. Have a lovely day and an even better weekend." Well, thank you very much for the super chat, Josh. I hope you're
Yeah,
passing out in a safe, sort of going to sleep
yeah,
way, rather
yeah.
than an actually
In a
losing
gentle
consciousness sort
way.
of way.
In a way one might do after a good evening of frivolity.
Yeah. Everyone stay
Yeah.
safe out there.
Yeah, look after yourself, like set your limits and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, enjoy yourself, but know when it's time to chill out a bit.
When the fun stops, stop.
Yeah, when the fun stops, I don't know, clean the kitchen sink.
Yeah. Drink your paint
Yeah.
water. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, drink your paint water. Oh no, did you do a fumble?
A little
Did you
fumble.
bungle it?
I did a little bungle, yeah.
It's fine.
It's okay. I'm.
I'm now painting the very specific area of this bear.
Is it his hind quarters?
It's his little crack here. There's some awkward bits underneath here because obviously he's got the stand he's on, and I
Yeah.
have to manipulate my stand to try and reach the areas that are hidden
There
away
comes
by
a
his
point though where you have to
bareness.
say like, is anyone going to see that bit?
I know it's there. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's the thing. That was something I very much subscribed to when I started painting, and now I'm like, if they can't see it, I'm not painting it.
Yep. If they can't see it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. This bear's going to be on a table at least 5 foot away, so they're not going to see it.
Yeah.
So I'm not painting a bear's gusset, thank you.
Gusset is such a word.
Sorry. Do you still have a dehumidifier? Of course I still have a dehumidifier. What are
Yeah,
you
I
talking about?
do.
They're
Jeez.
amazing. I moved flats, kept the dehumidifier, obviously.
Yeah, it's a fact of life
Yep.
that you can't live in Brighton without having a dehumidifier because it's a wet
Yeah.
place. Even when it's warm, it's still somehow wet.
Oh, I mean,
Uh,
it's been by the sea, isn't it?
yeah, like you will just get down. Like we're actually quite lucky because it's not too bad, but literally anywhere you live around Brighton, it's probably going to be a bit of damp.
But super healthy for everybody's lungs.
Yeah, luckily it's in the living room, not my bedroom or anything. So
Okay, that's marginally better.
I I've had it a lot worse, Johnny.
Yeah, my.
When you're a student,
Oh wow, yeah.
yeah, it's a fact of life.
Okay, so that's okay.
Whoa! No, it looks really
Okay, the
good.
color, like the color could be a bit stronger, but I'm scared to just keep going over it.
Yeah,
I'll leave that. That's fine.
I think it
Phew.
looks great.
What's everybody talking about? Rasmus NEM says this is why I never quite trust visual artists. I know they are used to thinking about private bits a lot. Eh, fair.
You know, private bits. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Private bits.
What private
People are chatting
bits?
about scary games after the talk of
Oh,
FNAF. You know what I really want to play is I think it's an indie game. It's on itch, but it's like no players online, where it's like you've jumped back into a first-person shooter that no one's playing anymore, and like all the servers have been shut down or something, and then it turns out I think it's haunted.
oh,
Apparently, it's a very quick game. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes to play, but it sounds bloody brilliant. But I am
yeah.
dreadful when it comes to horror games. I'm fine with horror films, but there's something about me having a link to the actual space that just. I mean, well, you saw me play FNAF, so.
Yeah, there was an abject panic there, which to me that's a sign of a good horror game.
Yeah, it was the dread as well. It's just like, oh, I
Yeah,
know they're there.
yeah, you know they're there, but you really don't want to see it. No, I love a good horror game, regardless of them, whether it's a board game or a video game. Um, I get you with so I love horror films. Like I'm a big fan of horror films. Like some of my favorite films of all time are horror films.
Hmm.
Um, Video games I love knowing about, I love learning about them, I love watching them, but playing them can be sometimes like a very stressful experience.
Yep.
Uh, that was my experience with Alien Isolation,
Oh,
which
mate.
is a game that I'm still trying to finish because I have to take breaks
Yeah.
in between playing it because I'm so stressed.
I
Like I think it's an incredibly good game, but
yeah, no, sod that, frankly. When I started playing it
yeah.
by myself, I had to turn it off. The first time you have to sneak past someone, I was like, I just can't do this. Um,
Yeah, the save system is like really clever in the way that it makes you feel like constantly on the edge because yeah, while you're saving, you could be
yeah, of
stuck
course.
on. Yeah, it saves in real time.
Yeah,
So, and it takes a long time and it makes
it
noise.
really does.
So,
It's such a
I think
beautiful system,
that's
though.
oh, it's such a fantastic mechanic. Like I love horror games that do things like that because, a good in my mind, as with board games as well, a good horror game is also it's in its mechanics as much as its
Oh,
presentation.
100%, yeah.
And I think Alien Isolation really gets that in terms of what it does. And also, you know, it helps that Alien's one of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
So,
I tell you what, I have actually found an affinity for sort of over the last few years that I didn't have before is playing horror games where you can like shoot or whatever, and just trying to hold your nerve. Like I played Resi 7 with a friend, and we did it properly. We turned the lights off, we turned the sound up, la la la,
yeah.
and we were super careful about preserving ammo. So every time somebody, came at you, it was like, all right, come on, just breathe, breathe, breathe. Now take the shot. And that was a really good skill. That's actually served me quite well. I'm playing a lot of Hunt Showdown at the minute, which is like a spooky first-person shooter with PvP and PvE elements. And because it's set in the weird West, really, a lot of the weapons are really slow and old. So you've got like single action pistols and stuff like that. So the gunfights actually slow right down, and it means that you just have to hold your nerve and try and line up the shot instead of like spray and pray stuff that you get and can get by with in other shooters. And I love it. It's great. When you win a battle, you're just like, like, I did it. I didn't get scared.
Yeah, I feel that way which again, I still need to complete. I feel that way when I played the Resi 1 remake
Oh, yeah.
that they released on PS4. And because obviously there's limited ammo in that game, and yeah, you can't really spray,
No.
gunfire nearly willy-nilly, because you're not going to have that forever. But no, I do like a good horror game. Oh, I've really biffed it now.
Nah, you can go back and fix it. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because that is.
Rue's Garden Guide asks, question for Johnny, what's the name of the Shakespearean insult book you got when you were still on the Eurogamer team? You know what, that is still in the office, and I don't remember, but it's brilliant. I just got given a book of incredible Shakespearean insults. Oh god, what was the one? It was something like, "Here comes the sweating lord." There were some brilliant
Yeah,
insults
that's
in there.
excellent. I mean, sometimes I feel like that applies to me.
Well, you're very regal.
Not when I'm sweating.
Well, you know.
We all do it.
We all
It's fine.
sweat.
Yeah, especially when it's hot.
Exactly.
God, see this bear's undercarriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do spend more time than you'd think just staring at a bear's undercarriage, eh? Was it
Yeah.
Was it? Your name is ominous to children. That was another one. Oh my god, what an
Oh,
insult.
that's excellent. Yeah.
What an insult. Flip.
That's a very good one. Right. I think.
Your name is ominous to children. Here we go. Because it was when we were doing, I believe it was Bloodborne, and we were just trying to get more creative with our insults. Because we like to trash talk the enemies.
Most of the enemies in that game would be incredibly ominous children.
Yes.
Not just children, just people in general, really.
Oh, 100%.
There's some real gruesome stuff in that game.
Yeah, really, really grim stuff. I'm very pleased to have completed it eventually. It took a whole playthrough with Aoife for me to finally get through it, but I did it.
I'm not quite good enough for those kind of games. I can't be dealing with it. My patience isn't exactly. I don't think I can deal with.
It was Dark Souls 3 we were doing, apparently. Thine mother's name is ominous to children. Richard III, Act 4, Scene 1?
That would make sense. Richard III's name would be ominous to children, considering what he does.
Yeah.
Which is not nice thing.
No, I quite agree.
If you ever get the chance to watch the Ian McKellen version of that film, I would really recommend it, because it is really good. He's so good as Richard III.
I mean, Ian McKellen's just wonderful,
he
isn't
rocks, but he's just so good as Richard III. He's really slimy and awful.
Ugh.
Yeah. And they set it in World War One, which is a really interesting setting for a Shakespeare play.
Yeah.
I believe he also plays Iago in Othello as well, but I don't know whether that was a stage version or a film version. But he's really good as Iago as well. Ian McKellen, Shakespearean actor, Gandalf.
Best mate of Patrick Stewart.
Mm.
Pub landlord.
I have to do the bear's face now, and I know I'm going to cock this up.
I am highlighting some cloth. Very poorly. But oh well. What am I doing? It's 20 to 5. I reckon I can get this lot done by then. If I just finish these little highlights here. It's exciting. I've been working on these guys for a few days, on and off, obviously. But once they're done, I'm going back to painting Skaven. I've actually got a bunch of them pre-painted, well, underpainted here. So, like, these lads. This is what I mean about underpainting, by the way. You can see I've used black and white to try and build contrast into the model first. If you then glaze the colour on, that light and shadow stays there. And it means that you get more variance in the shades you're putting on with the colour, but you only have to use one paint. It's a fun technique. I'm not great at it, but I'm learning. I'm not satisfying.
Yeah, no. Got to start somewhere. I've really biffed this helmet.
Sure you haven't. It's probably fine.
Gonna have to do it over again. It's fine.
All practice, though.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't paint enough as I should, but...
Well, I think
Hey!
feeling like it's something you have to do is the first step to it not being fun. I nearly stopped entirely and sold everything when I forced myself to do so much of it, just like doing factory line stuff, just churning out Skaven clan rats. I was like, I hate this. I actually actively hate this now. And then it took me a while to sort of get back in to the swing of it.
Yeah, I'm glad I've only got like a few models
Yeah.
to hand.
When the fun stops me and stop.
Yes. Aye, aye, Captain.
Julia Kaiser says, I feel like I'm learning so much about painting in these streams, but never get around to actually paint. That's fine. I don't have to actively take part in something in order to, to enjoy it.
Yeah, I learn about stuff all the time that I wouldn't ever actually do.
Yeah. Like whaling.
Or like...
Because I'd be arrested.
Yeah. Wailing on the moon. We're wailing on the moon.
What's that from?
Futurama.
That's the one.
The episode where they go and visit the moon and it's like Disneyland.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, Futurama in general is just great. Although I've only ever seen the first 4 seasons. I didn't bother watching any of the feature lengths or...
Yeah. There was one that was okay, from what I remember.
High praise.
I
think I've seen one episode of the new stuff and I was just confused as to why Leela and Fry were an item. And then I just didn't watch.
Yeah. I mean, Futurama always had the potential of actually, like, moving forward with its characters.
Yeah.
Unlike The Simpsons, like, that's the big difference. Because, they didn't have to keep things the same all the time.
Yeah.
Keep people happy. I recently rewatched some of the first seasons of The Simpsons. And you know what? Up to season 8, it holds up relatively. But after that, I just don't bother.
Yeah, It
goes real downhill from there.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Right, I'm going to go over some of this armour again.
Yes, mate.
Start.
Just shading the metals.
I think I'll probably be able to finish the base coats today.
Yes.
I'm not going to do any... Yes, I'm not going to be able to do any shading.
That's fine.
I think. Yeah.
Wailing on the moon.
Yeah. Although, one of the later seasons, I think it's 9 or 10, has one of my favourite episodes ever on it.
Oh, really?
Of The Simpsons, yeah, which is the one where Homer becomes a food critic,
Oh my god. Oh,
and
it was still good
season. I
then.
think it's season 10, which it's both got one of the best episodes of The Simpsons ever, as well as one when Mel Gibson's in
Oh,
it. So
yeah,
yeah, real ups
I
and
take that back then.
downs.
And poison, we'll
Uh,
put in some poison.
yeah, it's honestly got one of my favorite jokes ever in it, which is where Homer puts in the little model he's made of himself, where to because he's not in work,
Yeah,
he's taking the kids to the school trip, and where he's just recorded him singing on the tape.
yeah.
I work
For
hard
the
for the
money.
money,
That's so good.
and then Burns is like, promote that
Who is
person.
that productive young go-getter? Um, I think my favourite might be the chili contest with
Oh, the chili one is quite good. Yeah,
the
actually.
Guatemalan insanity peppers.
Mm. Yeah, I'd say it's either Food Critic or the one when they go to Duff Gardens is very good.
Yeah,
Um, because again, it's got some of the funniest jokes in the entire series in it. I would say, yeah, I'd say it's either between Food Critic or Duff Gardens, and the one where like Maggie is, the history of Maggie is explained, and it's kind of a bit cute.
oh
Where
yeah.
it's like, oh, but it actually makes you feel, something. But yeah. And the bit where the robot explodes just has me absolutely cackling.
The thing is, The Simpsons, in my head at least, got so bad that it, for a very long time, retrospectively spoiled The Simpsons for me, where I didn't enjoy any of it.
Yeah.
And that was difficult to row back from. It's just like, oh, I don't like this anymore. Just don't.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel a little bit
I've not
about
watched it in years and years.
no, I wouldn't watch it anymore. Like the newer
Yeah.
stuff. Because it just kind of lost its well, when you're going on that long, frankly,
Yeah.
like you're gonna have infinite ideas,
Yeah. It's.
without changing a heck of a lot. Like it's kind of impossible,
I
really.
just found myself getting annoyed with episodes where the first 5 minutes weren't to do anything to do with anything. They were just like, it's so
Mm.
zany, and then like, meh, they just go off and do something else for a bit, and
Yeah, the best stuff in the episodes were like you had the one-off jokes which were great, but then where you had a solid storyline to follow through with it.
yeah, yeah. Well,
But
it became a victim of its own success. Really, it just ran for too long and continues to. Ha ha ha.
yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
Matt Groening says he doesn't watch it, so
Yeah.
can't
Well,
blame him.
he's done his bit.
He most certainly has. Although, to be honest, I've not forgiven him for making that bloody whatever it was, the fantasy one that was on Netflix,
Enchantment,
oh,
Unenchanted.
something like that.
Yeah, most
Awful.
people were like, it's not good.
It's absolutely dire. I quit after like 10 minutes max. Just like this is dog mess.
Yeah, so people who are like, I want something like that. I'm just like, watch Big Mouth, in my
I
opinion.
can't get past the art style.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that to
It's
me, and
disgusting.
it's a valid criticism. Like, it don't look great,
No.
but the writing is really good. It's a very funny show that has something genuinely good to say
Yeah.
about stuff.
Disenchanted. That was it. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't bother, so especially after people were saying it's not very good, and I was like, I know what I'm not doing.
Yeah. Absolutely dire. Apparently it gets better, says Joe McGovern. I'm still not going to try. I'm afraid.
Mm,
It's a slow burn start. Second season was better. Yeah, I guess I watch so few things habitually anyway that I sort of, if I don't love something, I'll just stop.
yeah, there's only so much time in the day,
Indeed. And I spend a lot of time a week just rolling dice and just talking in stupid voices. So actual
Yeah.
screen time is sort of at a premium.
Oh, balls.
Alright, I have got to shade the little buzzard. And then I've got to highlight the weapons, and then I'm done with these little... These little bone lads.
Oh.
Doing alright. To be honest with you, I picked these up. It's just a quick project to do to just get something done and on the table. Which sometimes I feel I need just to sort of keep me going. Because again, it's that whole paint pile thing where if you're like, ugh, I've got so much to chew through, then you won't, you just sort of lock up, which is why I've probably got about 100 rats to paint, but I only base an undercomb tiers 10. And even that feels like a lot. They sit there staring at me, and I'm like, all right, gotta do the rats.
Yep.
Chris Wachowski has done
100 rats to paint.
Another super chat saying Disenchanted was disappointing. Final Space was a better successor to Simpsons and Futurama. I don't think I've even heard of Final Space.
Well, just watch Tuca and Bertie.
What's that one?
It's on Netflix. It's made by pretty much entirely female creative team.
Oh, cool.
And it's really funny and
great.
Again, says important stuff about life.
Nice.
And has characters who have flaws, but aren't insufferable.
Oh, that's a rarity, anyway.
And they've renewed it for a second season. Thank God, after cancelling it, which is nice.
I'll tell you what's surprisingly a solid banger, given it is literally a program for children. Sarah and Duck. That show's great. It's like, I think it's CBBC, but it's amazing. It's about a girl called Sarah whose best friend's a duck who only communicates in quacks. But the animation's a delight. You know how when people are making kids TV shows, they put something in for the parents watching. It's just all in the looks that Duck gives Sarah. Duck's hilarious. There's a duck who's just really not sure what Sarah's on at any point. It's amazing. Two of my friends got me really into it because one of them was working on the social media for Sarah and Duck. And it's got a really pleasing theme tune, which is just Sarah and Duck, and then Duck goes Mac. Sarah and Duck, Mac. And then they say that a few times, and then they're straight into the show. It's banger.
Well, it's like Horrible Histories, which is legitimately a good program, regardless of how old you are. It's hilarious.
100%.
I remember when in secondary school we would do the Charles II rap.
Yeah.
Because we were nerds.
Fair enough. I think the show aired after I'd already left school. I think.
I mean, when I say we were in school, I was in sixth form.
Right, yeah.
So it's not like I was, to be honest, the age of which the show was kind of aiming for. But
I mean, that show won BAFTAs. Or a BAFTA.
Yeah, it's really, and the comedians in it are really good.
Oh, I mean, when you were in sixth form, I would have already finished university, so. Sarah and Duck.
Yes. 2011-ish? 2012, I finished sixth form.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a long time to me, so. Where did time go?
I've been a games journalist for 4 years by that point.
It's fine.
Alex Zaglinsko says, just screamed Johnny loves Sarah and Duck. You're damn right I do. Sarah and Duck.
Honestly, if Lily was here, I think she would love everything that's happening right now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Oh, Will Sawyer, all in caps, says, I love the people and the people love me so much that they restored the English monarchy.
Yep.
Clearly not the only fan of that rap.
Yeah, it's a classic. The king of bling. Let's sing. I'm the king who brought back partying. Yeah.
Superb.
How do I still remember it after so long?
I mean, I what was it on? Were we streaming when I revealed I can do the entirety of See My Vest from The Simpsons?
We were about to
That's
stream.
right.
I feel pretty sure it was last week, and I was
It was.
singing. I sang it a little bit of it, and then you just launched it into an entire rendition of "See My Vest, See My Vest, See My Vest."
See My Vest. Got a round of applause at the end. Got pleased with that.
Yeah, it was really impressive. You got every single line.
I'll save that for another stream.
Yeah,
Always leave
no,
the people wanting
you,
something.
yeah, you're in for a treat with that.
Oh, Jerry Cosmo says, "Hi Johnny, hi Meehan, love you guys. Follow Johnny over from Eurogamer. Good work on Dicebreaker, keep it up." Thank you. It's nice to know
Oh.
that this wasn't a terrible career decision. I feel like that's always a reassuring thing to be told.
Oh, you won't see this on Eurogamer.
No, you won't.
Oh.
I got a message from Aoife when our Gloomhaven playthrough went live yesterday because it's us playing the PC game, being like, "Oh, crawling back into video games, is it?" It's pretty great.
You can do both.
Yeah. Oh my god. Lowly's is coming clutch. Here it is.
What?
Here's the joke.
Okay.
Why can't a nose be 12 inches long?
I don't know.
Because then it would be a foot. There it is.
You don't want a foot for a nose.
You don't.
That would cause problems.
Yeah. Right. Time to shade this buzzard. I was about to say trying to water the buzzard, which just sounds
Yeah.
weird.
Going to water my buzzards.
Paul C has done a super chat saying, "Just watched Crate Expectations. I used to think Johnny was such a nice DM, kind and gentle, more interested in having fun. Then I saw what he's willing to do to a bunch of level 1s. Johnny, you are the best DM there is." Crate Expectations. That was the chair one?
That was the one where we were sneaking into the temple as Tim the Goblin was in a crate.
God, of course. Of course.
That's why it's Crate Expectation.
Of course.
See.
Yeah.
Right. You have to redo parts of this because I've biffed it. These little straps are really fiddly, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing. Sometimes you'll see a sculpt and you'll be like, "Ooh, look at the detail on that." And then you come to paint it and you're like, "Oh, look at the detail on that."
Yeah, that's why I avoided some of the other ones
Yeah.
that were in the bag. Like, I'm not doing those.
Try my Red Robin suit. Comes one Bristol too.
Thought you were gonna save it.
It's just.
Is it?
Sorry, no, you're
You
right.
can't
Leave him hungry.
resist
Leave him
it.
hungry. Leave him hungry.
You can't resist.
No.
You've got to sing it.
Bum, bum, bum. Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna call these guys done.
Ooh.
Ding, 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 ding.
How are your buzzards?
Buzzard's doing alright, actually. Hang on, let me tab so I can see again. I mean, that's not really going to show up. It's a buzzard.
Oh, I can see it.
There you go.
I can see his little head.
Doing alright. Yeah, I've managed to get some red shades to just sort of sit on it so it looks like it's got a bit of a crest, which is a very lazy way of doing it. But like I say, these were just a project I wanted to sort of do at speed without really trying to make them look absolutely perfect. So
Yeah, mate. There's no judgment from this corner.
I'm quite pleased.
Believe you me. Absolutely no judgment. This is definitely a work in progress. Just gonna do one more fix of a
Sure.
problem
I
I've
mean,
got.
in many ways, aren't we all works in progress?
Yeah, human beings, you know?
Yeah.
We're still in the oven.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 1 minute to 5, so we should really start wrapping this up. if you would be so good, if you would like to, man, could you send me a picture of Trinket and I will throw it into the tweet where we're like, what did you do during the stream? Show us what you've been crafting.
I will do that.
Sweet.
Just covering up these
Yeah, I mean,
doobads.
there's no rush, but in the meantime, I'd just like to say thank you very much for joining me on the painting stream. It's been lovely having you here.
It's been a delight. There you go. I'll give you a little peeker.
I mean, that looks awesome. That's sick. That is really tidy as well. A good job. Nice. Right, well, yeah, again, if anyone wants to see pictures of these on Twitter, please do, and then show us what you've been working on. And we'll see you very soon. But yeah, thank you very much again, Meehan, and thank you everybody at home for watching.
It's been delightful, yeah.
It's alright. We do okay here on dicebreaker.com or youtube.com/dicebreaker. The channel.
Yeah, and also dicebreaker.com.
And also dicebreaker.myshopify.com. US shipping now.
Look.
And other t-shirts.
You can buy this.
Wood for sheep. So yeah, that's that, and we will see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.